Good morning, everyone. It's a Monday afternoon, and I thought I'd do a real quick live. And I'm looking like this because I'm going to put on a little wig from. I think this wig is from I Am Wigs, but my hair was a hot mess today, so I thought I'd do a wig today. So let's get started. Get ready with me. This is going to be not. I hope not overly long, but I wanted to talk to you all about my skincare routine too. I don't do a lot of this, but Mary Kay's got some great skincare. And I thought, well, let me just tell y'all what I do and what I use. Pull this back just a little bit. Okay. First thing is this night serum. I use the night serum day and night just because I like it. And it only takes about that much. I mean, it doesn't take much. And I just rub it in. I use it day and night. Now, you don't have to. This is formulated to work at night, but I just like the way it feels, and it really helps my skin just feel nice and soft and keeps my skin really supple. So I use this. I normally use the wrinkle eliminator, the new product that we have, but when my sister was here last time, um, or when I went to Nashville with her, when we went to Nashville and met in Nashville, um, she ran off with that of hers, and I ran off with her hyaluronic acid product from Mary Kay. So I've not been using that. I didn't want to use up her product, but this is what I use for moisturizer. It's the oil-free moisturizer in the little purple looking tub. I really like this product. I've been using this for a couple of years now. I have to be careful what I put on my skin because my skin is really sensitive. But this works really, really well, and it makes you feel nice and hydrated without making you feel greasy. It's kind of a gel rather than this is the consistency of it right there. And I'll rub it in on my hand so you all see this so you'll know what I'm talking about. It just goes on right like that. And it feels, you can tell it takes it a minute to dry down, but when it dries down, your skin just feels great. And I'm going to use the eye cream today. This is the Voluform Repair eye cream. And I like all of our eye creams. I've tried all of them. I'm using this one right now just simply because because I had an extra one. And so that's what I picked up to use. So I'm not picky about which eye cream, but I do like this one because it's got a metal tip. So I am going live on YouTube at the same time I'm here in the Facebook group. So that's why I've got these things on, because I need this for YouTube. So otherwise I wouldn't have that on today. So let's just get started on this. Let me grab a couple of things right back here. I guess I wasn't quite so ready as I thought I was when I started this. I always think, oh, I've got everything together, but then no, I never do. So I'm going to use the Mary Kay foundation brush instead of the Beauty Blender, mainly because I forgot to wet my Beauty Blender before I turn this thing on. So I'm not going to use that today. And I'm going to use just a little bit of, today I'm using, and you all have seen me use this before, and y'all, look, if there's a product that works for you, it doesn't have to be Mary Kay. I mean, I love Mary Kay, and 99% of what I use is Mary Kay, okay? This is a product I use that is not Mary Kay because I've struggled to really find a shade that matches. I can wear the CC cream occasionally, but it has sunscreen in it and it breaks my face out. So this is a tinted hydrator from Wet n Wild. It has hyaluronic acid in it. I just knocked everything off. So I'm specifically saying this for my Mary Kay group. YouTube, you guys have seen me use this before. And I think you guys have here too in the Mary Kay group. But I just want to make sure when you see me pull this out that it is not a Mary Kay product. So that's okay. Wear what works for you, girls. Now, I do like sometimes to use this brush if I'm in a hurry, because you can get your foundation on really quick with the brush. It goes on much quicker than with a beauty blender. I have found that to be the case. And this brush, the bristles on these are really soft, so your foundation goes on really, really smooth. And if you like a brush application better than you do a beauty blender, by all means use that. Do whatever works for you. I do like these brushes. I had just switched over to a beauty blender for a little while because I don't know, I've been kind of following some TikTok trends. So that's why I did this. So now that I've done that, and y'all stay till the end so you can see what this wig looks like. I haven't had this wig on in a long time, and I don't believe I have ever worn this wig. That's bad, isn't it, to have a wig you've never worn? I think I just mainly had it to review it. I think they just sent me this one to review, and I didn't even know it was coming until it got here. And it's really not a color that I think looks that good on me, but it was the first one I grabbed out of my wigs, the place where I store my wigs. It was the first one I grabbed, so that's what I'm going to use today. So, let me get my little purple powder puff out, and I'm going to blend my concealer in, and this is the concealer that I use. And you ideally, if you're going to do all this, go to the trouble of doing all this, you want to get your concealer about a shade lighter than your foundation, because what you're doing is you're creating the illusion of lifting the eye. That's what this does. That's all. That's all it does. I'm gonna put a little bit on my eyelid too. We kind of did away with our eye primer because people were just using concealer on their eyelids instead of the primer, so they just discontinued that. Mary Kay we are launching a new mascara. And I've seen some pictures of it, and it really looks fabulous. So if you want me to order some of that for you, just let me know. It will be available. I can order it now, and let me know by Friday if that's something that you'd like for me to order for you. I'm going to do a little bit of contouring. Well, not really contouring. I'm just going to lighten myself right here just a little bit. And what this does, all this does is just create the illusion of light where the sunlight would hit your face. And it gives you a more youthful, dewy look if you do that. Tap that nose down just a little bit. That's a little bit bright. And that's all I'm going to do as far as concealing and doing any of that stuff. That's it today. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my translucent powder. Where did you go? Right there you are. Now, translucent powder is really good for setting your foundation, but not just for that. It's really good. This one is white. Mary Kay's translucent powder is white. And white translucent powder reflects light. So you want to, unlike any other kind of setting powder that has a color to it, you want to use this on the places on your face. Don't hesitate to put it like right in here where you might have, or I mean, I do. I've got some wrinkles right here around my mouth. Don't hesitate to use that there because it will reflect light and it makes them appear to disappear as if by magic. Not really as if by magic, but it does reflect the light off of the dark places on your face, and gives you a more youthful appearance, they say. I think once I have reached a certain age, and I have reached that certain age now, it is what it is, folks. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go underneath here. And normally you would not do this for a mature skin with a setting powder or with any kind of powder that has a color, because it's going to settle into mature skin. It's going to settle in those lines under your face and in your crepey skin. But this does not, because it reflects light. So it gives you a more youthful look underneath your eyes. So there you go. Now that I've done that, I am going to go in with some, what did I do with that? Brow tint. Did you all have a nice weekend? I sure did. I went to church. Went to a different church Sunday because y'all know I've been looking for a church. And I went to a church where I've got a couple of friends that attend, and I really liked it. And I'm probably going to go back. I won't be going back this coming weekend because I'm going to be out of town, but I'll be going back when I get back in town. Um, it was kind of, if I had to say anything about it, it was like the Anglican church and the Baptist church had a baby. And this was the result because I really like it. I really liked it. It had some catechesis in it, which I really like, that type of worship. And they recited the Apostles' Creed, which, that is kind of the uh, cornerstone of the fathers, the early church fathers and the Council of Nicaea. So I always like to go to a church that recites the Nicene Creed or the Apostles' Creed because it's always good to affirm that every time you go to church. So the pastor brought a great message, and I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna go back. So I'm gonna use this fan brush. If y'all don't, this is a multi-purpose brush. Um, if you haven't used a fan brush before for your makeup, this is a wonderful little brush to pick up. Mary Kay doesn't sell these, but I think this one might be. I'm looking to see. It just says fan brush. I don't know where this came from. It might have come from, I'm sure it came from Ulta. But you just kind of take your makeup and, do that. And then I'm going to just put this right up here. You can really control your blush really well with the fan brush. You don't get too much makeup. And that's what I like about it. It gives you just the right amount of coverage, and it's very specific to the area that you want it. Like I'm just kind of wanting a little bit right there. And so I'm just using my fan brush. Now, let me tell y'all what else this is good for. If you all do any acrylic or oil painting, like on canvas, these are great for painting happy little trees because they're already fanned out and ready to go. These are great if you use chalk paint. They're really good for that too. I think I've been watching too many crafting channels, but that's what these are good for also. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with this. So tell me what you all did this weekend. Did you all have a nice weekend? Did you get to spend time with your friends and family? I'm really looking forward to this coming weekend. My sister's coming in, and we're going to a concert on Saturday. And then we're going to turn right around and leave. And I'm going to go spend a week with her in Olive Branch, where she lives. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I haven't been down to Olive Branch in a while. She usually comes up here. But neither of us, this is what we always say, because Robin fell in the parking lot back, oh, it's been 4 or 5 years ago. And this elderly man was walking by her. She fell and hit her, just hit her knee. She wasn't hurt or anything. And this guy comes and bends over and says, "You better watch out. You're not as young as you used to be." So she said he didn't offer to help her or anything, just told her that and walked off. So we say that to each other all the time. We're not as young. You're not as young as you used to be. So we're not as young as we used to be. So the trip takes its toll on us more than it used to as far as driving back and forth. And Robin has always been really good to come here rather than me go there. And the last time I went down there, I had a blowout on my way home in my truck. I had a truck at the time. And it didn't, I didn't swerve or anything because I could tell that my tire was going down, and I was able to pull over before it just, went really bad. But that kind of, it's a 6.5 hour drive. So you know, I've just been nervous about doing that. So she's going to fly in, and I'm going to go pick her up at the airport, and then we're both going to drive down together. And then I'm going to spend some time with her, and then she's going to ride back with me and fly out the next day. So she's able to do that. She can fly pretty much anywhere she wants to in the continental United States for free because her husband, um, he's retired, but he was an airline pilot, and he still does do teaching and stuff. So she can fly anywhere she wants to for free. So that works out really good. So that way we're not making the trip by ourselves anymore, which that is really important because it's almost getting a little dangerous for a woman to be on the road by themselves anymore. So let's use hazelnut. It's just a good neutral, and I'm going to try something else here in a minute. So let's try this. So I know Mary Kay has been doing some revamping of the line, and I think that's why we're getting a new mascara. And I also think they're going to be doing something with the eyeshadows. Have a suspicion that that's coming up. I'm going to use an eyeshadow. Let's see. Let's use Starry Night. This is this dark blue right here. And I was going to do this really quick and just do something easy, but then I just thought about something that I saw on YouTube this week, and I thought, no, let's go dark on my lid today. This girl did this dark color all the way on her eyelid, and it was a dark. She used a dark gray, but I'm going to use a dark blue, and I'm going to do this with mine. And by the time she got finished, it was so pretty. So I'm just going to try it here today. I was like, no, let's just go try this. So let's do this, and I'm putting this right over the top of that hazelnut. And that does soften the color down and kind of gives you a new color to where it's not quite as dark, and it gives you almost a I don't know exactly, almost like a peacock look. It's not really iridescent, but it wants to be. Let's put it that way. It wants to be iridescent. It's trying to be. So I have worn wigs a little more lately than I have been because I have had my hair's been shedding just a little bit. So when it starts that, then I just kind of pamper it. I don't wash it as often, and that usually, stops it. But I've just had a lot. I've had a lot going on, and I've been really busy, and I've been stressed out. So when I get that way, this is what I kind of have to do to kind of stop the madness there on the hair loss. But it's not been bad. It's not been bad like it was last time where I had to get all my hair cut off. It's not been like that. And I did get my hair cut, so my hair looks better than it did. So I'm taking my blending brush now and just blending everything in nice and neat up here on my brow bone. Just kind of blend it in with that biscotti color that I used. Okay, so now that I've done all that, let's see, what do I want to do next? Well, let me go in with, we had a blue color a while back that we don't have anymore, and I'm just going to try that right there. I left a little spot open to do something just like that. The same thing over here. There's a place I didn't blend. I'm just going to kind of go in a little circular motion to give myself a little bit more of that blue. I think the color of this color was called Radiant Blue. This is actually a mineral powder. It's not the Chroma Fusion. This was a mineral powder color. And I just love that. I love the color. So I don't use it much anymore because it's a discontinued color. But man, I wish we'd bring that back. We need it. We need a blue, a nice shimmery blue like that. So I'm just kind of blending it up, blending it all in together. And we'll just call that a day. Now I'm going to look for my blue eyeliner. It's in here somewhere. Is that it? That's it. We're just going blue today because why not? Why not? It's a Monday and I see no reason why we can't do that. Maybe to coordinate. I remember my grandmother. She wore red and green a lot when I was growing up. And she would wear, like, if she had on a red jacket and a pair of red pants, she would think because it was red that it matched. Now, you and I know that there's all kinds of shades of red. There's tomato red, maroon red, there's a pink red, an orange red. She didn't care. She just said, well, it's red. So in her mind, she matched and looked great. So that's what I'm doing with these blues right here. I got Starry Night, and then I've got the Radiant Blue. So now I've got this blue. So I love these. I love these Mary Kay eyeliners. These are fantastic. They stay on really, really well. They don't run. They don't bleed. They don't do any of that stuff. I really like them. But I can still remember getting back to my grandmother, I can still remember going to church with her one Sunday. And I met her at the church and I walked in and she had on this green jacket, this green shirt, and these green pants and green shoes. She had on totally green. She looked like St. Patrick's Day. And none of the greens were the same color. She had on a scarf. God love her. She thought she looked good. And in all fairness to my grandmother, now that I am probably close to the age that she was when I went to see her at church, when I went to church with her that time, she probably couldn't see. So she probably thought they were all the same color. I've suffered so much with my eyes as I've gotten older. I can totally relate to that. So my theory is if you've got good blending brushes, everything matches. So get your blending brush and blend, blend, blend all that in. So I'm going to put some of this. I'm going to go all the way over today because, oh, I don't know. Why not? Let's just do that. And I realized the other day when I did a get ready with me the other day in the group, and I realized after I got off the live, I was like, my eyes look a little bit funny. What's wrong with them? And I realized I didn't put on any mascara. So there's no telling how many times I've gone out like that into the wild. All right, girls. Now, before I forget it this time, I'm going to put on some mascara if I can figure out where I put it. There it is. Okay. Y'all, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I'm going to tell y'all what I did, who I watched on YouTube this weekend because I was looking to see, if there's some new makeup trends. And I haven't watched this channel in a long time, but it popped up in my recommendeds and I watched Jeffree Star. And I had not seen him. His videos had not been up in my recommended for, a couple of years, I guess. But I watched, I watched a couple of his videos and the guy fascinates me because I don't care. He's been in so much trouble that he's had all this scandal and everything going on around him, and he's lost, a lot of his brand deals and stuff because of it. But the guy can slay some makeup. I mean, I'm just sitting there watching him, like, and sometimes I just mute it so I don't have to listen to him talk, but I'll watch his technique. And his technique is absolutely flawless. I mean, it really is. He is something else with that. So I don't like to watch his lifestyle stuff, but I do like to watch him slay some makeup because he can. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, beige nude lipstick. Oh, I meant to do that TikTok trend that they're doing now with lipstick. Let me try this. You take your lips and you just kind of do them like this, and you just draw a line. I mean, I hate to do that because if I mess this up, my eyes look pretty good. So I don't want to. I don't want to mess up my look. Let me try it though. Well, by crackies, that worked pretty good. I kind of like how that worked. I think the beige nude, I think I probably need to do that with my lipstick rather than that beige nude. What did I do with my lipstick? This is, I forgot the color of this, y'all. Let me look. This is a pink color. Um, no, it's not either. It's sunset peach. I don't know why I thought I had a pink. Sunset peach is this color right here. I love this color. I think it's really pretty. Kind of a neutral. And it's just a pretty soft color. I really like it. All right. Now, let's get on with the wig, and then I'll do a little devotion for you all today, because I am on YouTube at the same time that I'm on here. So I usually on Mondays do a devotion. Oh Lord, look at this! I need a devotion. Somebody pray for me. Look at this. Um, I usually do um, some type of devotion on YouTube once a week, and so I thought I'd just include you all in that today. So now that I figured out I can go live on both at the same time if I use my phone and my computer, it's a little bit, takes a minute or two to set up, but if I can do it, why not do it? Okay, so here's the look, y'all. It's a little poofy, but can hair really be too poofy? I mean, the higher the hair, the closer to God, according to Dolly Parton. So here's the look. Let me get in here, both these. Here we go. I really like this look. This makes me feel with all this eye makeup on, this makes me feel like a younger version of me because I have been wearing a lot less eye makeup. But sometimes, why not? Just why not? Wear what you want to. That's my philosophy. Okay, let me put my glasses on, see how this looks. Okay, I'm happy with it. Very nice, very nice. So let's talk a little bit about something that I heard the pastor of the church say yesterday that really stuck with me. And he's doing a series on parenting. Now, I don't have any small children, but I think this applies no matter what age you have your children, because I don't think there is a point in life where your children stop trying you in some manner or form. And I've got a wonderful family. I'm very blessed with my family. But, we are like any other family. We have challenges, just like your family and everybody else's family. So when those times come, one thing he said about that really stuck with me was about you have to love God more than you do your children. Now, this was speaking in particular to people who have young children or children still at home, teenagers, man, that's, that's kind of easy to do because sometimes those teenagers are difficult to love, let me tell you. But he went on to say that if you don't love God more than you love your children, that you really don't love your children like you should. And I thought about that. And I thought about, okay, and I always try to think about how can I apply this to my life today? And so I thought about it and thought about it. And I was like, well, for an older child, the tests and trials that you have with them are different than when they are younger. A lot of times when you're dealing with a child who is grown and who has lived their own life, own their own home, have their own children, and you have grandchildren, I mean, sometimes I feel like, well, I've taught you all that I can teach you, you know, because you're 40 something years old now. But that isn't true. And I still have things to teach my daughter. But in order for me to teach her properly as an adult and for her to hear and receive what I'm saying, my number one love in my life has to be the Lord Jesus. My number one love in my life, as much as I love her and my grandchildren and my son-in-law, they can't be my number one love. My number one love has to be God. And when I make the Lord my number one priority and my number one love, then that makes it easier for me to love others, especially sometimes our families who can be the most contentious people sometimes on the earth that you have to love. Now, I don't really have that problem very often with my family, to be honest, because my family, I'm like I said, I'm blessed with my family. But occasionally we do have that. And if I keep my eyes on who I'm supposed to devote my life to, which is the Lord, everything else, the love just seems to be in line with God's word. Jesus himself said that in order to follow him, you had to um, hate your father and mother and everything else and follow him. Now, did he mean to actually hate them? Not at all. The Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, didn't view love and hate the way we do. They didn't view it as two sides of the same coin. In fact, they didn't even view these things as emotions. They viewed that these were things that went on in your mind, not a feeling, not have anything to do with the way you felt, but how you treated others because of what you perceived in your mind. So when we look at it like that and look at Jesus' words in light of that, it basically means to serve one and not serve the other. So if we're serving the Lord, and I don't mean just physically serving him, like going out to the community and doing stuff, that's important. We have to do that. We're called and commissioned to do that as Christians. But I mean to make him the priority in our lives. If we do that, then we can properly love our children with the true love of the Lord. That's what I got out of that anyway. And I hope you all have enjoyed this little get ready with me real quick. I'm kind of fun today. I just thought I needed a wig today. So I'm glad I pulled this one out because I had made myself a little middle note that whichever one I pulled out first was the one I was going to wear. So this is the first one I pulled out. So this is the one I put on to do this live today. So I kind of like this old gal. I don't know why I haven't worn this before because for an inexpensive wig, she don't look too bad. And I think this color, I think I can wear this color okay. It's got a little more blonde in it that I remembered. And I don't think the part is all that great. For those of you who wear wigs out there, I think the part is a little janky, but I can easily put a head wrap or scarf on with it and it'd be just fine. Guys, y'all have a wonderful day. May the Lord God be with you and bless and keep you. Love you guys. Maranatha. Bye-bye.